Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do a real quick part 5 to my Let's Play, to my Perplexity Chatbot series, where in today's video guys, I am actually going to try doing the same story I did last time on this. The one about me being such a tiny kind of tourist with all the starters in front of me. However, I'm doing it on Perplexity this time. I found something devastating about U.com. There actually is a way for you to get the full road model on U.com, but it requires me paying $20 every single month again. Every time we find a full road model that was actually good in ChatGPT, it gets ruined by the fact that you need to pay for it every time. And it's annoying. ChatGPT only get 10 messages. Character AI is good but doesn't have a good enough memory. And that goes for pretty much all the chatbots now. Dippity, or how you say it? Dippy? How do you cut other than that one chatbot was I did a good bit before? And same thing for emoji. Like, for a while they had some of the best memory for a free chatbot, and now they don't have one anymore. I'm gonna do the one on Perplexity because I know its memory wasn't the best, but I think it was at least a little bit better than some of the other ones we've had before, especially compared to with U.com and all that stuff. So yeah, here we go. Here's what we got. The choice of starters. The sun was bright over New Barktown as you walked down the quiet path to Professor Elm's Pokemon laboratory. Nerves thrummed in your chest, but excitement was stronger. Today wasn't the day you received your first Pokemon. No, that was still a week away. But you had been allowed something special. Permission to visit early, to speak with Professor Elm, and to tell him you were ready. Elm greeted you warmly the moment you knocked at his door, papers and research notes cluttering his desk, but behind the scientist's glasses gleamed kind eyes. "You're ready, Trenton?" he asked, voice filled with encouragement. "Then in 1 week's time, you'll begin your journey. But first, you should know who awaits you. You may choose from 3 partners. Chikorita, the grass type, Cyndaquil, the fire type, and Totodile, the water type. Think carefully. This choice is the beginning of everything." You glanced across the room where the 3 Pokemon were playing together. Chikorita tilted its head curiously, tail leaf swishing, cynical hidden shyness, sparks flicking faintly in from its back when it sensed your eyes. Totodile bounced up with a goofy grin, sharp little teeth clenching. Your chest swelled with excitement. Your own Pokemon. Soon. But someone else had seen you walk inside. Oh no. The jealous boy's secret. Across the street, a boy named Derek stared with narrowed eyes, his fists balling. He had always wanted to step inside Professor Elm's lab, but he never had the privilege, and now you had been welcomed before him. That jealousy festered, growing into a nasty thought. 3 nights later, when his parents were asleep, Derek crept into the basement. Their shelves brimmed with chemicals, formulas, and a half-forgotten chemistry set, eyes gleaming with mischief and bitterness. He began mixing. He worked for hours, concocting something strange. I don't know how you say it work blue anymore. A bubbling liquid that shimmered ominously when held to the light. He whispered to himself, "When I'm done, Trenton won't be able to get a starter. Everyone will look at me instead." By midnight, Derek had created a volatile potion, one he was sure no one would expect, a potion that warped biology itself. He closed it into a glass vial, stuffed it into his backpack, and went to bed grinning. Oh no. The trap unfolds. The next morning, Derek put on the face of an obedient student. His parents dropped him at school just as always, but when their car rolled away, Derek slipped out the back door, his backpack bouncing against him. The potion rattled quietly inside. Across town, you had stepped outside for fresh air, hoping the breeze would lift your nerves. That's when Derek spotted you. His lips curved into a wicked smirk. You never even saw him approach before. Crash! A glass vial shattered at your feet. Liquid splashed across you, seeping into your skin with a burning chill. Before you could even scream, the world tilted. Your body warped, bones shrank, claws sprouted, vision dropping to the ground as everything around you towered higher. When it ended, you staggered forward. Your reflection in a puddle made your heart sink. A tiny dinosaur, a miniature Carnotaurus, only 7 inches tall. Derek laughed, cruel and triumphant.
Ha! Now you'll never be a trainer. In 5 days, I'll get my starter, and it'll be nothing but a toy lizard.
He vanished before you could retaliate. Shame and fear gnawed at you, but more than either was your determination. There was one place you knew you could go. The shock at Elm's lab. You rushed back to Elm's lab, tiny legs carrying you as quickly as possible through the grass. When you slipped under the door, the room fell silent. A few aides gasped, hands covering their mouths. Chikorita tilted its head in confusion, Leaf trembling. Toadol froze, while the Cyndaquil's flame sprouted in alarm. Even Professor Elm blinked behind his glasses, dumbstruck. Then you opened your mouth, and words came out. A normal human voice from a tiny prehistoric-looking form. The room erupted in whispers of disbelief. Quickly, stumbling over your tiny claws, you explained everything. Derek, the potion, the cruel trick. By the time you finished, everyone's face had hardened. Elm pushed up his glasses, jaw tight.
I see, he said gravely. That boy has done something unforgivable. But Trenton, don't despair. In 5 days, when you come to claim a starter, I promise you there'll be a surprise. Until then, stay low and stay safe.
Confused but trusting, you sculled out of the lab. Behind you, Elm's expression changed into something far more secretive. Oh boy. The secret preparations. As soon as you were gone, Elm turned to his assistants.
Bring me the starters.
Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Toadol stepped forward nervously, uncertain. Elm lowered his glasses.
If you are truly to protect Trenton, you must be more than yourselves. It's time you gain strength unlike any ordinary starter.
He led them to a massive experimental machine, a glowing chamber humming with energy. The Pokemon went in, their eyes wide but trusting Elm completely. For 3 long hours the machine thundered, reshaping their very essence. When at last the doors opened, the 3 Pokemon walked out, still themselves, but their eyes brighter, their bodies humming with power. Elm clapped his hand softly.
Now you can evolve and return at will. Even grow to gigantic size if Trent is in danger. You are his protectors.
His honest gasped in disbelief, but Elm still wasn't finished. From a nerd chamber, Elm revealed a secret. A baby Lugia! Wings too small yet, scales glistening like twilight waves. The baby cooed happily at Elm.
My friend,
Elm whispered,
soon you'll have a trainer who loves you. Someone who chose you as his favorite before even meeting you.
The Lugia chirped curiously and followed Elm into the machine. Hours later, it emerged, glowing, reborn to a being capable of growth at will, power unmatched even among legendary Pokemon.
Elm turned to his staff. I don't care what the league says. Trenton will have all 3 starters, and this Lugia too. He has earned it.
5 days later, justice. On the day of the official starter distribution, Derek swaggered into the lab with his parents. He grinned, ready to finally receive his Pokemon. Professor Elm's stern gaze stopped him.
There will be no Pokemon for you, Elm said firmly. You've committed a crime against another trainer.
Derek blinked, bewildered. His parents scoffed at first. Absurd! Our son would never! Do you have proof? Elm did not argue. Instead, he turned toward the doors. They opened, and you stepped in, still in your tiny contours form, but unmistakably you. The parents paled. Their disbelief shattered as rage showed on their faces, directed at their son. "What have you done?" they demanded. Derek stammered but could say nothing. Elm raised a hand.
Trenton, welcome. Despite what's been done to you, it's time to see your partners.
He called Chikorita forward, then Cyndaquil and Toadile. Their eyes lit up as they walked to you, each one letting out proud cries of loyalty.
These three are yours.
You could hardly believe it. All three. Yet Elm smirked softly.
But that's not all. Trenton, you told me once your favorite legendary Pokemon.
From behind the lab, wings unfurled. A radiant Lugia stepped out, still youthful but magnificent, eyes gleaming with recognition, as if it had been waiting for you all along. The room fell silent, the jealous boy's tears of rage the only sound. Lugia lowered its head before you. The three starters huddled close. You suddenly weren't small anymore, despite your tiny dinosaur body. You felt better than ever. This was your team and your family. Wow. Well, so far this is working out a little bit better. But will that stay like that? Because the last one didn't even remember they could freaking transform the whole thing. Give me a second. Alright, guys. It says, I get a little shot and look at the starters and the Lugia.
Are you serious? I can have all three? You're gonna give me this Lugia too? Why?
Yeah, and it shows it right here too.
Are you serious?
I can have all three, yep. The room went still for a moment. Then, Professor Elm smiling with his hands folded behind his back.
Because, Trenton, you've shown qualities most trainers forgot before they even began. Courage, honesty, and care for others over yourself. What happened to you was unfair. The Pokemon themselves know the truth. They've chosen you. And Lugia, well, Lugia already heard your heart.
If only they could speak. Chikorita stepped forward first, her leaf swaying gently as she pressed against her tiny side. I have an idea. Maybe what I should do is whatever ones work best, I'll make sure if I can get these Pokemon to speak English. Whichever one works the best when it comes to chatbots of the ones me doing this, I'll use that one and use that one the most and see if I can get them to speak English. So yeah. Chikorita stepped forward first, her leaf swaying gently as she pressed against her tiny side. Chica! Chica! I cannot do the flipping Pokemon cry of that. Her big red eyes sparkled. Beneath her cheerful cries, you could feel her emotion.
We want to be with you.
Cyndaquil walled over next. He was shy at first, lowering his head so his little flames flickered just lightly. But then he leaned close, letting out a soft "Quill." He wanted you to know,
I'll burn bright for you.
Oh, here we go with Toadile. Oh, and Lugia can speak telepathically when he's a baby. Perfect! Yes, so Lugia can speak to me. That's even better. Tail couldn't help himself. He bounded right off, clapping his claws together and laughing with his silly, scratchy Toadile. I cannot do that sound, the little Toadile. He looked up at you like you were already his best friend.
Let's have fun and protect each other.
Did he? And then with a soft rush of air, Lugia lowered itself before you. Even young, its wings carried a mystical presence that made the whole room feel peaceful. Lugia's voice wasn't out loud, but in the back of your mind, you heard it clear as day. You
spoke my name before you met me. You called me your favorite from the bottom of your soul. That bond is all I need. I will grow strong beside you. I will guard you, and I will help you find yourself again. The four Pokemon gathered close around you. One grass, one fire, one water, and one legendary guardian. For the first time since the potion struck, you felt bigger than your 7-inch Carnotaurus form. Stronger than Derek's cruelty. You felt like a real trainer. Okay, that's actually you really need. So it's already working out a little bit better. Alright, guys. I just said, thank you. All of you. I love you already.
All four of you. I then walk up to each one of them. Chicory, Cynical, Toto, and Lugia, and careful not to accidentally trip over their much bigger bodies, and gently nuggle them with my tiny snout. I love it. Ah, your tiny contours speak pattering softly against the lab floor, voice heavy with emotion. Yep. You took careful steps forward, nervous about accidentally tripping over their much larger forms, and one by one you leaned in, gently nuzzling them with your little snout. Chicory lets out a happy trill, eyes sparkling as she leans her leafy head against you in return. The fresh grassy scent of her leaf wrapped around you like comfort. Chica! Her message was clear. I'll be your calm and your grounding. Cynical flinched at first from shyness, but the moment your snout touched his warm fur, his flames fluttered with joy. Not in fear, but pride. He blinked up at you, his eyes soft. It's giving me a translation. It's safe with me, too. Toto was impossible to contain. He practically bounced as he laughed his goofy, croaky laugh before throwing his stubby arms around your tiny contour's body. Careful though he was, he squeezed with pure excitement. You're my best buddy already. He's so cute. Finally, you approached Lugia, even lowered. Its body was majestic compared to yours. Its silvery blue scales shimmered as it bowed very low, so you could touch its smooth beak. You nuzzled against it, and the legendary's response was not just physical. A wave of calm and protection surged into your mind. Would have won. Dang it, I'm still used to doing a huge Lugia. Anyway, though you are small, your heart is vast. With me at your side, with us, no one will ever make you feel powerless again. Your four partners now formed a circle around you in the middle of the glade. The grass leaves swaying gently, the fire's embers flaring with warmth, the water chuckling with joy, and the legendary's wings stretched protectively. For the first time since Derek's potion, you no longer felt cursed. You felt chosen. Professor Elm adjusted his glasses, unable to hide the proud smile tugging at his face. Trenton, I smell money! Guys, real quick, here's what it said at the end. Professor Elm adjusted his glasses, unable to... What the frick? Unable to hide the proud smile tugging at his face. Trenton, I don't think I've ever seen a bond form so quickly. He's pulling on yours now. Not just your team, their family. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys. Since it speaks when we're down here, I'm just going to read out from down here. As I say while tilting my tiny contour's head as I look around at them, voice full of wonder. I love them. Thank you, Professor Elm. But they all seem awfully shiny. I didn't get to get a good look at them last time I was here, but I don't remember them being this sparkly. Chicory's leaf glistened with a faint sheen, almost like morning dew shimmering even without sunlight. Cyndaquil's flames burned with a subtle bluish glow at the edges, more vibrant than normal. Toadol's scales seemed to gleam like polished sapphires, and when Lugia shifted its wings, the silver and blue shimmering as if reflecting ocean waves, magical and otherworldly. Professor Elm chuckled, folding his arms. You have a very sharp eye, Trenton. You're right. They have changed. When you explained what had happened, I wanted to do more than just make sure you got your starters fairly. I wanted to prepare them to protect you. They underwent a special process, not just to gain strength, but to carry a kind of aura. You could call it a sparkle of power. One of Elm's aides, wide-eyed, still in awe, stepped forward hesitantly. It's as if their very essence was amplified. Almost like a rare shiny Pokemon effect, but not quite the same. It's special, unique. You won't find another group exactly like them. Chicory took a proud hop forward, spinning her leaf like a banner. Chica! She seemed to want you to know she wasn't just shiny in looks, but in spirit. Cyndaquil puffed up his flames just enough to create a little glowing sparks that drifted gently to the ground, tiny stars falling just for you. And Toto promptly tried to admire himself in a nearby glass beaker like some kind of superstar, earning a round of laughter from the aides. And Lugia lowered its gaze to you, eyes glowing faintly. You heard its calm voice in your head again. Their sparkle is not for show. It is born from their will. They shine because they've already chosen to walk your path. The lab felt quiet for a moment, the shimmer of your forepaw filling the place with warmth, light, and hope. Alright, guys, here's what it says. I say with my mouth open in awe and voice curious, but it said, they look awesome like this. But what kind of power are you talking about, Professor? What does it do? Professor Elm's eyes gleamed as he adjusted his glasses, clearly pleased by your curiosity.
I thought you might notice. You see, Trenton, these pawns aren't ordinary anymore. The machine didn't change who they are. It awakened something within them. Each one now has the ability to control when and how they evolve, and even to control their size. They can be small enough to sit in the palm of your hand, or grow massive, far greater than a regular Pokemon, to protect you.
He walked over to Chikorita, who stood proudly at his side.
Chikorita here could evolve into Bayleaf or even Meganium instantly in battle, or return to her smaller form when she wishes. Same for Cyndaquil into Quilava or Typhlosion, and Totodile into Crocodile for Alligator. Not only that, all of them can grow to enormous sizes if they must shield you, bigger than any wild point of their species would normally be.
Elm then turned to Lugia, lowering his voice with awe.
And Lugia is a special case. Even as a young legendary, it can fluctuate its size, appearing small enough to travel quietly at your side, or spreading the wings into its true towering guardian form. When it grows, its storming whirlpools could shake the land and sea themselves. But don't worry.
Elm smiled kindly.
They are in complete control. They'll never lose themselves. This power exists for one reason: to protect you, Trenton.
Chikorita tapped her leaf against your tiny contour snout gently as if to say, see? Cyndaquil gave a quick flash of his flames, then dimmed them just as quickly to prove he was in control. Toad inflated his chest and posed like a giant for a second, jaws wide, before shrinking back down and bursting into goofy laughter. And Lugia bent its long neck low, eyes glowing faintly. Again, its telepathic voice floated into your mind. You are small now. But you are not weak. We will be the strength you cannot carry alone until the day you stand tall again. Sparkle on their skin wasn't just beautiful, it was proof of their awakened bond and potential. Ooh! Alright, guys. Here's what it says. While I'm nervously glancing upward at my four enormous partners, my tie claws digging into the floor for balance, I said,
Can I see? Please? Just be careful to step on me. Even right now, you look like giants because of how tiny I am.
Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, and Lugia all exchanged determined glances, wanting to show you just how much they could protect you, before Elm could say,
Yes.
Uh-oh. Derek's voice exploded across the lab.
Wait a second!
Everyone turned. Derek, red-faced, fist clenched, pointed towards you in your circle of Pokemon.
That's not fair! You give him overpowered starters, 3 of them, and a legendary on top of that? That's cheating! Totally cheating!
Goodness gracious. His voice cracked, but his rage only grew.
I can report you to the league for this, Professor. They'd shut you down in a heartbeat. So if you want to save your job, at least give me one of those starters.
The air in the lab went tense. Professor Elm's glasses caught the light as he looked calmly at Derek, though his expression was sharp like a blade. Oh my. Professor Elm sternly says,
You dare speak of what's fair, Derek? After what you did to Trenton? You threw a dangerous, unstable potion at him. You robbed him of his human form, and now you stand here whining about fairness?
Tara's parents, standing near the door, looked between Elm and her son with knitted brows, still not entirely certain of the story.
Professor Elm?
Derek's mother began.
Are you sure? Our Derek? He wouldn't.
Elm's eyes flickered to you.
Trenton, show them. Speak.
Everyone's eyes turned to you. I've been speaking. Unless I've been speaking so quietly only the Pokemon could hear me. The tiny contours in the middle of the circle of glowing Pokemon. Give me a second.